Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, back with another video. I thought I'd talk about another one of my football videos, or as I'm calling it now, soccer, as I say with my alliteration, soccer Saturdays and soccer Sundays, and also trying to get more people from America and places like that to support Italian football. So, but at the moment, I'm focusing on my people, so to speak, Anglo-Indians, as I say, A.I.s for short, to support Italian football and Celtic as well. And I'd love Anglo-Indians in the future to have our own football teams that go to Italy and practice playing football with Italians as much as possible. Anglo-Indians from around the world to do so, and with Celtic, and maybe even all three groups playing football together, soccer, whatever you call it, and maybe even with people in America or with M.L.S, like M.K.S and M.L.S. We have similar initials. So anyway, but although I might have ideas that might benefit even other clubs or other leagues like M.L.S, I mainly hope to benefit Serie A and Italian football generally, from the lowest levels to the highest, from grassroots all the way up to the top division, like Serie A, Serie B, Serie C, and so forth as well. Anyway, I thought some more quirky ideas, like for instance, Anglo-Indians going to parts of, if we could travel to Italy in the future, like in teams, and play tournaments like 5-a-side, 6-a-side, 7-a-side, 11-a-side, or whatever, and we would have what's it called? Play against teams like. One of my quirky ideas was to do like an A to Z of Italian football, so go to teams that start, or cities that start with A and then B and then all the way to, if there are any, that start with Z. But that probably wouldn't be a very logical way to travel, because it's probably better to start in either north or south and then work our way up or down respectively, and go to, but I'd love us to go to each possible city in Italy and play football. I thought if we play Anglo-Indians versus, say we played against AC Milan and we wore the Inter top and they wore the AC Milan top, and sometimes play against Inter Milan as we pretend to be AC Milan, they play as Inter Milan, but we're helping them to train. So the main idea would be to benefit Italian football and also to have fun as well, and hopefully Anglo-Indians to have Anglo-Indians to have fun, and Italian football to have fun and also to improve. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, I'd love us to play as many Italian teams as possible, and Celtic as well, and all train together. The goal being to help Italian football and Celtic to be as good as possible, also possibly helping them to brand. I think it'd be cool if Indians think of Anglo-Indians as cool, and we wore the Italian tops, and hopefully more people in India will support Italian football as well. I'm not sure if Indians think we're cool, but it'd be cool if they did. But anyway, so as I say, I thought I'd just have a bit of fun and talk about something not too serious, I suppose, but I'm quite serious about my football in a way, but obviously there are more important issues. But this is like these football ones, or soccer, or whatever you call it, are just for a bit of fun, just have a bit of a laugh. I haven't really planned this video that much, but as you can probably tell, sometimes I think through what I want to say, but I forget points, or I don't manage to think through quite as much as I'd like to. But yeah, I thought I'd make a video about Anglo-Indians being united for Italian football, and I talked before about A.I.s united for certain things, and came up with a list of 31, my usual list of 30 things. But I thought I want to break up each specific thing I think we should stand for as individual videos. So like Anglo-Indians unite for Italian football, or Anglo-Indians unite for India, Anglo-Indians unite for Turkey, or human rights, or anti-war, pro-pacifism, conscientious objection, and that sort of thing. And obviously this one is for soccer, football, whatever you call it. But yeah, hopefully I'll help Italian football as much as possible. Hopefully I'll encourage people from the US by calling it soccer again, branding it. Hopefully more people from the US will support Italian soccer, calcio, football, whatever you call it, and people around the world as well. But I'll say this video specifically mainly for Anglo-Indians to practice playing football with Italians and support the teams, support as many Italian teams as possible, maybe just as much as Italians, if not more. I hope to unite Anglo-Indians with Italian football through myself. But yeah, many of us Anglo-Indians probably look Italian as well, so I suppose I'm a bit biased in that. That's probably why, I suppose that is why I'm wishing to do this. So, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I haven't really thought of many things to say, but yeah, basically, to sum it up, I love Anglo-Indians to support Italian football as much as possible, wear the football kits like AC Milan, Inter Milan, Juventus, Napoli, and so forth. Well, we even collect them, encourage as many people from India and Asia as well, generally, whether mixed race or pure breeds, pure Asians or whatever you want to call them, support Italian football. Also support, encourage Italian football around the world, like people support it, and Celtic as well, similar, and like train together. Anglo-Indians and Celtic fans and Italian football fans, especially at youth level. So hopefully, will help Italians and Celtic respectively to produce many great players, and maybe in the future there could be many great Anglo-Indian players who play for Celtic, and possibly even in Serie A or things like that. I know technically by the rules we wouldn't be able, unless you class like mixed race, part Indian and part Italian, we wouldn't actually be able to play for Italy. But I think I still support their team. Many my fellow Anglo-Indians may or may not agree with me, but I know some will probably support India, England, or maybe even India or Brazil or Argentina or whatever. But I'd love to somehow. I hope to encourage them to support Italian football, Serie A, and that sort of thing, and maybe train together. Hopefully through practicing more, hopefully Italian players will get a lot better as well. And again, bring back some of the glory days. And I'd love Italian football to be more attacking as well. I know defence is important, so I hope to develop that defence as well, or keep that defence strong, and keep that culture of defence, but also like maybe Anglo-Indians practicing with Italian football and also Celtic practicing with Italy could help Italian football to become more attacking as well, and maybe change the strategy a bit to a more attacking one. And maybe like I'd also love to what Italian football can learn from Brazil and like Germany in terms of penalties, for instance. I'd love to share videos with people from Italy about improving our say as a fan, penalties, like because Italian football in terms of penalties unfortunately is generally speaking not very good. But yeah, what we can learn from possibly the best, well, surely the best penalty takers, which are the Germans, like what we can learn about sports science, maintaining belief or positivity. And it'd be amazing if we could beat Germany in like penalties and all that, because I don't think so far, I think the German teams have probably only, well, national teams have only lost like once on penalties, and that was at youth level, which was very surprising. But not 9 times out of 10, or 9.9 recurring times out of 10, they tend to win penalties. So yeah, I'd love to know what you think of this idea. Can't think of much else what to say. I'd love to hear from my fellow Anglo-Indians about whether they would love to support Italian football, or whether I could change them to support Italian football, or whether they'd love to bring teams together to tour Italian football, like 5-a-side, 6-a-side teams, 7-a-side teams, 11-a-side, and so forth. And especially at youth level, because we can help each other to practice as well. So hopefully Anglo-Indians, will have fun practicing and playing football as well, soccer, whatever you call it, and maybe like have connections with like the rest of Asia as well. Italian football, playing football with the rest of Asia and against Celtic, and also going to parts of America or the Americas and creating tournaments and things like that. So hopefully what I said makes some sense and isn't too much waffle. But as ever, I'd love to know what you think about my quirky ideas, and hopefully find them interesting. And hopefully the weather will get good again, because it's very cloudy out there. Anywho, yeah, I think I did cover a few times on my story about why I'm an Italian football fan, because I think I look Italian. But I do like to try and tell a good story, but I suppose I've become obsessed with lists, so I sort of focus a lot on lists. But I would love to get into telling more stories as well. Anywho, I think I'll wrap this up. Peace out.